Can a female politician ever be known for simply their monetary policy, or will their motherhood status always come into play? Can a female Prime Minister be known for their legislative success, or will it be their fashion faux pas we recall? Hi, I'm Leah, and welcome to Hide and Seek, and welcome to the first instalment in my Essay Each Week discussion. This week, take your best shot. The Prime Ministership of Julia Gillard by Jacqueline Kent, published by Penguin as part of their Penguin Specials banner. Now, this is an insightful book into rather an intriguing woman. Now, regardless of which side of the political fence you sit upon, and regardless of where you live in the world, there is much in this book to recommend it to you. Now, Julia Gillard was our 27th Prime Minister. She was a left-leaning politician, a Labor politician here in Australia, and she was our first female Prime Minister, serving in office for just over 3 years from 2010 until being rather unceremoniously ousted in 2013. Now, there are three key points I'd like to highlight from this book. Firstly, purely from a biographical standpoint, this is an excellent story of modern Australia and the opportunities that Australia gave to many people the world over from the 1960s. Her family came as 10-pound poms, and her family, in particular her beloved father, instilled in her an unrelenting work ethic. And from that work ethic came the opportunity that a girl from a very working class family in a very working class suburb went on to become Prime Minister of our nation. And she took that work ethic, that actions, not words, ethos from her family values and instilled it into every area of her life, in particular her political leanings. One quote here that I felt highlighted that particularly well was, "We've always acknowledged that access to opportunity comes with the obligations to seize that opportunity, to work hard, to set your alarm clocks early, to ensure your children are at school." And that ethos, that actions, not words, was something that very much resonated to me. From a biographical standpoint, I think this story would resonate with any person interested in a working class family and the machinations of opportunity and how to seize that opportunity. I think it would resonate with a young woman trying to find their place in the world and stand by their core values and how that stance can lead to a very successful career. Perhaps the second point, and one that is very relevant in light of the Me Too and the Take a Stand movements currently going on, is the fact that Julia Gillard, as not just Prime Minister but as a female politician, was subject to almost unrelenting vitriol based around her gender, based around her appearance, her voice, her looks, her marital status, and how that was unrelenting, not just from other politicians, not just from journalists, but from many aspects of the general public. And the grace and dignity with which she managed that vitriol, rather than descending into the same childish, inappropriate behaviour, she stood calm, she stood firm. Again, she showed by her actions, not her words, of how she wanted to be treated and how she expected others to treat each other. And this was perhaps highlighting her most famous political speech that is actually on YouTube, and I'll link it down below, where she gave a 15-minute retort to sexist comments from the then opposition leader Tony Abbott, a 15-minute litany of all the times on the Hansard record of his inappropriate comments, his inappropriate abuse of his position as a politician. And that garnered her much benefit and many fans the world over for her ability to stand her ground and to speak her truth and to not accept poor behaviour in this sphere. Now, the third key point, and one that again is particularly relevant in this day and age, is how she was not a great orator. And one of the key references there that I bring is that her legislative prowess, her ability to get through the political process, was really outstanding. Yet she wasn't a naturally gifted orator. Both her successor and her predecessor were both very charismatic, warm, engaging speakers, but neither of them were particularly adept at following through with that. One quote here says that Gillard's legislative achievements have been extraordinary, it has to be agreed, but she has never seemed to be able to explain them convincingly and with authority. Rudd, who was her successor, often failed to carry out policy and governance, but always was very good at speaking to the public. Now, there are a number of other politicians the world over who live in similar skill sets. They're good at the show and the glow, but when it comes to substance and actual political process, they're often found to be wanting. And we have to, as a community, decide, do we want flashy politicians or do we want effective politicians? And perhaps the two are not the same thing. So there you go, 3 key points I took from Take Your Best Shot. I would strongly urge you to consider this book if you are interested in any sort of political process. Interested in feminism and the story of a young woman from the wrong side of the tracks who went on to lead a nation. If you are interested in the political process. If you have other essays on the political process, on feminism, that you think I would be interested, please link them below. I'd also be interested in any thoughts that you had on Julia Gillard as a Prime Minister. Please keep it above the belt because I'm showing, like she did, that it's about actions, not words, and showing respect. And so please leave those comments as well. But thank you for tuning into my very first Essay Each Week discussion. I look forward to your comments and have a fabulous day.